All right, begin.
What's going on, y'all, and welcome back to the channel. I hope each and every one of you are doing well this morning. Now, first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to the beautiful lady who requested the intro. She liked this intro a lot better than the other intros that I have. I want you guys, whoever follow me tight, I want you guys to drop down in the comments and let me know, do you like this intro over the new intro that I recently inserted? Let me know. As a matter of fact, I'm going to post on my community feed so you guys can, basically tell me what intro you want, and I'll roll with that accordingly. But anyway, let's get to the So I want to talk about this punk ass Irv Gotti, right? Just slandering Ashanti all across, you know what I'm saying, Drink Champs. And it was so disrespectful that Fat Joe had to speak out in regards to, defending Ashanti. This dude Irv Gotti seems that, he's still hurt. He seems that he's still bitter from the simple fact that Ashanti separated herself from Murder Inc. Now, in my estimation, right, Ashanti did what was best for her and her family, because if you take it back to the late 90s and the early 2000s, Irv Gotti was indicted by the feds for laundering $1 million in drug money using his label. And so the feds felt that that money that they were trying to hide was coming from Kenneth McGriff of the Supreme Team. But later on, Irv Gotti was acquitted, and his brother, of all charges. Now, in Irv's mind, he felt that Ashanti should have been a down-ass bitch, waited to see how things were going to play out, because Irv was facing a lot of time. And so in Ashanti's mind, she's thinking like, Irv may go to prison for a long time. How am I going to feed myself and my family? How can I keep my career going? And so I believe that a real man would have understood where Ashanti was coming from. She didn't sign up to be, a part of this whole gangster organization. She signed up to make music. But Irv can't seem to separate the two, because he's emotionally attached to Ashanti, because he claims that him and Ashanti were in a full-blown relationship, right? Now, what's interesting about this dynamic is the fact that Ashanti has never came out and confirmed that her and Irv were ever together in an intimate manner. And I believe that that destroyed his ego the most. He's around here being a chatty patty, talking out the side of his neck, talking about his intimate dealings, something that a man shouldn't do. And at the same time, Ashanti has been quiet about the situation. She has not talked about it. She's just denied everything that Irv has said in regards to them being in a relationship. Now, I will say this, I can have just a smidget of empathy for Irv in this regard, and it comes from the simple fact that Irv and Ja Rule, they are responsible for putting Ashanti on. So when you look at the dynamics, if it's true that Irv had this romantic relationship with Ashanti and she doesn't even want to claim you as a body, that says a lot about you. And so as a man, I have to admit my ego would be a bit bruised if a woman didn't want to claim me, but at the same time, I wouldn't be the person to be putting my information out there to be embarrassed for a woman not to claim me. You understand? But anywho, guys, what I want to do right here is play you guys some of what Irv had to say in regards to Ashanti. And immediately following that, I'm going to play Fat Joe's response, where he calls out Irv and he also calls out Ja Rule. So sit tight and I'll be right back.
Fight.
What I could never get past. Yo, I don't want to do this no more. That cut me 1,000 times harder than her Nelly. I try to tell everybody with Ashanti, it was a difference because I never had no chick that I could talk to after we
Right. Never?
Maybe one or two. I'm getting millions of dollars with my bitch. But I say this to say, this is your family. We made you. This is my put you on this. You can't abandon this.
Right.
You can't. And you're gonna say you don't want to do this? I'll never get over that.
But all right, so it started after the game, and then, but the feds still have to come into account, Gotti. This is a
feds
female.
already happened.
Okay.
A lot of people were saying,
Right.
the 98% conviction rate.
Right.
So she would be saying to me in like emotional crying, like they told me you're gonna go to jail.
Let's be clear now. Let's just be clear. This is a good point as an outsider that's looking in. That's the way they was pointing y'all out. They were like, "This is going to jail for life."
And I'm quite sure. That her people was telling her this is a good thing for you
to get up out of there.
You're the hottest R&B. Gotti Nobody's gonna go to jail, and you're free.
Like, distance yourself.
Yes.
Newsflash, not guilty, bitch. Not guilty, bitch. You and your team, not guilty, bitch.
Ashanti, right? And so, whatever Irv has with Ashanti is 20 years old, right? And so I know he was making some points that mean a lot to him, his heart and soul. But, when you keep ranting about somebody 20 years later, it felt like he's not over the young lady, right? And so also we didn't know that they was right? Because the whole time I'm there. What's Love, Big Pun Record, on tour. I never seen them together like that. Now I'm not saying they wasn't. They was. Or there was rumors they was. I never seen it. But I don't need to know. I don't need to know. Right? Now, it's okay if it's on a documentary. You got to say your truth for your documentary. But to go to Drink Champs and keep calling up, keep disrespecting. Guys, I'm not going to be the one, I'm not the guy, to stand up for Ashanti, the brother that I'm not. The Ja Rule was standing right next to him. And so I'm not going to be that guy, right? But yeah, like I'm not telling stories about a girl I was with 20 years ago. In fact, I hope you leave me alone, right? And so when you're doing this, it looks like you caught up, you ain't get over this. Even if we know you have to be over it because it's 20 years, right? But on top of that, it just and then everything else, it kind of brings less credibility to everything else you see. And let me tell you something. Irv Gotti, he did discover her. Irv Gotti did make her the hits. Did shoot the video. Right? I mean, the man did it. He's a genius. It's a fact. He signed DMX. He signed Jay-Z. He signed Ja. The man's a genius. He's a genius. There's no question. But he make himself look crazy, disrespecting her. And the woman never really disrespected him. Right? And so all this talking and all that, I'm just looking like, damn, bro. And he kept coming back and coming back.
All right, so you guys heard that, right? And listen, it just sounds like Irv is still hurt 20 years later. He can deny it all he wants to, but I can hear the passion in his voice. We made you. We made you. How can you say that you don't want to deal with us anymore? It wasn't about us. You were upset because she didn't want to deal with you anymore. Now, let me say this. Although I do commend Fat Joe for standing up for Ashanti, let's not forget that when Ja Rule and Fat Joe had that versus battle, he disrespected Lil Mo and Vita too, called them some dusty bees. Now, maybe Fat Joe has learned his lesson and he wanted to do the right thing in this particular instance, and he did apologize to Mo and Vita for his actions. So, listen, I commend Fat Joe again, but let's not forget what Fat Joe did to those women and embarrassed them publicly on a national stage. Now, this is the thing about Ja Rule. He's getting attacked all over his Instagram account. So much so to the point where he had to limit his comments because people are going at him. And I want to read one particular comment in particular, and this is what this person said. So this person says, I thought Ashanti was your sister. Why do you condone that man to keep disrespecting her? I get it, he's the producer and whatever else, but y'all are the talent. Y'all are the reason people rock with that label. You and Ashanti made it magic, and for him to talk about her like some common streetwalker is sick. So I went to Irv's Instagram to see if he responded to any backlash or anything like that, and I found this one comment. And so basically this person said, you spoke on it, Irv, so it's not BS. Either way, congrats on everything. Then Irv responded and said, all I'm saying is I'm not thinking about her at all. Blank was 20 years ago. They asked me questions about her, so what should I do? No comment? That's not who I am. They ask a question, I answer it. Very simple. I'm thinking about this movie and building a multi-billion-dollar company with my visionary ideas, entertainment company, trust me. Now, Irv did not limit his comments on his Instagram page, so I can commend him for standing up and taking all the backlash on the chin. So anyway, listen, I'm going to draw the line here. I want you guys to drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about this whole entire situation. Like I said, you know, it was just so disrespectful for Irv to speak on Ashanti in that manner. And even though they're asking you questions about Ashanti, it doesn't mean that you had to disrespect her to the magnitude in which you did. But anyway, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.